Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to IXION. Now in the last episode I just loaded up the Tycoon with everything we could grab in the Immortan system before restoring the Protagoras station, grabbing a few extra people, and then vol jumping to yet another system. Now, we've arrived in Theta Crucis, which means our hull integrity has taken another beating, a massive solar storm is blocking half the system, and we have close to 2,000 people, but no indication of where any of the resources are. So the good news is that every sector currently is actually optimal and happy, so we're in a pretty good situation because we are full up on resources as well. Plenty of alloys to carry us through hull repair, plenty of ice, and food production is underway. Hey there, just cutting in real quick here to mention that I'm currently looking for an artist to design new channel branding for my YouTube, Twitch, and social media channels. And if you visit whatdarrenplays.com/brand, you can find all the information, what I'm looking for, how much I'm paying, to see if you're interested, and that's where you can apply to do so. Ideally, motion graphics would be a plus and some form of experience doing this type of work. Links will be in the description. Thanks. Looking inside, things are fairly optimal actually. The only things I want to change really quickly is a lot of these storage bays are full now, so I'm just going to power them all down. All the ice doesn't need to be powered on at least. And we'll probably build one or two extra houses here. This house is just about to get... Oh no, it's just starting construction. We have 136 homeless in Sector 4, this sector. So we're going to build two more optimized quarters for those guys. Just like so. And that'll be them kind of sorted. Bring this through here. Because we got the alloys to do it, so why not? Now, tech-wise, we're also just about to get Tech Tier 3 done. We're finishing Legislative Strengthening Center, which provides 2 stability whilst the stability of a sector is below 0. So it's a great, like... I guess safety net sort of building, right? If you think some event is going to happen and you're going to drop below 0, this just boosts you by 2. Then there's cell housing, so I'm going to queue that one up as well, as there seems to be some tech around us. And that's basically it. So we've got probes. One last thing actually is that in our Sector 1, this is, and I'll just correct the camera, this is where we make probes. We're going to power this back on. That puts us into extra hours actually in this sector, so maybe something that doesn't need to be on maybe one of the infirmaries. Because I think, I don't think there's anyone sick, or if there is, they'll move into that one. Okay, so we actually have a probe ready to go, so we'll fire that and then have a look at our different things. But first, we have 2 construction ships assigned to Docking Bay Sector 1. So we'll unassign one of them and reassign the other science ship, the Thale. So I've only got 2 science ships at the moment. Maybe we'll just train some colonists while we're here, because that's actually one of the objectives, is to locate a viable planet and investigate the command center wreckage. And then, yeah, so we're going to be auto-building... Let's turn that on to auto-build and just tell them to deliver polymer in here, because we had that turned off for a bit. So I'm going to say 30 polymer in here. Sector 2, you could just have, I don't know, 10. Just keep some in reserve. That doesn't need any, and you don't need any either. Okay. Time is now playing. So, we have to go out to the destroyed command center, so we'll send the Einstein. Go straight there, and we'll launch a probe. So I had a quick look just before I started the episode around. There's, just to save time on, you know, obviously looking around this, but I didn't actually launch them or go there. We've got tech here, and tech here, so I'm guessing, similar to this, these are wreckage sites or something similar. Stations, something similar anyway. There seem to be down here as well. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then following the orbit line, can't quite recall, but there was definitely here. There's another tech thing here. So just quickly, we'll go to the ones like immediately around us and then start expanding out. We want to get some resources on the go, but I have 2 tech science ships, so I'll go to at least one other one, and then we'll start looking for resources just so we can be constantly feeding ourselves while we're getting tech. So we'll send the probe just right over there, and we'll let time play.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Alright, so we've actually arrived at the destroyed command center, but before we click it, I'm going to let them collect the 30
Administrator,
science that's there.
a new request awaits your attention.
New request? What's going on? Administrator, sector is converted to the cult of the hull. This is a positive impact on the morale of the crew. The converts are waiting to hear your opinion on their worships. Sanctifying the Tycoon and its facilities does not directly violate any Dolos directives. Embrace the writings of Barjaville. The Tycoon is a body, the hull is its skin, and we are its blood. Or suppress the cult. It's called Wololololo. That's funny. What's the worst that could happen, eh? A cult? I just don't really like the idea of suppressing people. I feel like that's going to be a problem. Whereas I also feel like a cult could be a problem, but maybe easier to manage. I don't know. Let them think what they will. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they want to look after the tycoon, right? Body, skin, blood. Fair enough. If you want to believe that, go for it. Doesn't sound like it'll harm us or come back to bite me in any way at all. Legislative Strengthening Center has been unlocked, so we could build one if we wanted to. Haven't seen how big it is. Not that big. People did mention, you can see here, it's a 6x6, so a little bit smaller than the others, pretty much. Oh, and someone also mentioned you can decommission the DLS Center, and it keeps the policies in place, so you don't have to worry about that. Which is good to know. Alright, 22 Tech, our probe is on the way, and we are auto-building and delivering, hopefully, polymer, so we can get more on the way. Just to quickly check as well. Oh, I'm getting some lag. Pretty severe lag, actually. Jeez. I just started the game. I didn't even do anything, so don't know what's going on there. Hopefully it corrects itself. Got another event in our closed cryopod center. The crew are encouraged by how many survivors we have brought aboard the Tycoon. Yeah, we have 1,998, basically 2,000. The increase to population reinforces the feeling that our goal of saving humanity is achievable. The new crew members, woken from cryonic pods, are now part of something bigger than themselves. Okay. Trust is through the roof. You don't have to worry about... I'm totally fine. Everything's good. We got power. Hull has even been repaired despite only having one... Is it 2 EVA airlocks working on it? So that's all good. And we're training colonists left, right, and center. So what do we got? Collapsed food production district. Can we go there? We can. That's cool, just to check out the different places to see what they look like. We'll get the Thales to launch and go over that way. 21 tech available. Our sensors are located in a section of the Edamananki, drifting in vacuum of space. Our initial readings are registering a lot of organic debris. Oh, might see people out there then. Although it's organic debris, so maybe food, biomatter, dead people, I guess. Alright, a nice thick bank of 3,660 ice. Some people saying, you don't need to be collecting so much ice. Well, I don't know. I might. What do we got? Alright, so this is now done, so we'll check it out. Transmission from the Einstein's team. Although the command center of the Edamananki is heavily armored, the structure has suffered terrible bombardment. It appears as if something sliced through the larger superstructure of the Edamananki. This must have dislodged the center and separated it from the rest of the ship. Numerous pieces of debris and corpses float around the ruin. We've located a breach within the armor plating that would allow us to get inside. Enter the command center. It's gonna take 2 days. Do it. Get in there. Can we see it? Oh my god.
A science ship has arrived.
Oh my god, there's so many people. Oh, you can put them right in front of the screen. Oh my god. Yikes. Wow. Okay, that's pretty grim. Not too bad though. It'll be fine. Alright, we got another probe. So this time I'm gonna go look for something with resources. I think down here I saw some iron. Because we don't actually have iron coming in right now. There we go. Come on. There we go. Iron and carbon. So yeah, we'll head there next. And that way our cargo ships will get deploying straight away. Which makes me reminds me that on Sector 2, our industry sector, I think I've got, yeah, iron not being sent out at the moment. So we'll send that out. Open that up. Sorry, there we go. Feed these machines. Because we're getting kind of low. Down to 100. But it's okay. How's the homeless situation? Ah, something else I thought about doing. Because population here is a little tight, if we have a quick look in population management, Sector 1, we can see that there are 192 non-workers. And if we look at Sector 4, there are 200 workers out of just a need for 64. Barely anyone needs to work in Sector 4 because it's just storage. So I'm going to move like 100. I'm going to do a swap, 100 into 100, and see how that goes. So from again, people keep writing in the comments that I'm doing this wrong, but I don't know. I guess that maybe I'm making mistakes, but I don't feel like it. I am. But I must be, if people are calling it out. Alright, so we're going to move from Sector 4, only workers, into Sector 1. And we're going to go with 100. Yep. And the opposite then is going to be true the other way around. So Sector 1 to Sector 4, 100, but this time non-workers. Alright. So that should ease up the overworking conditions in Sector 1. And then let's just allow this place to handle a bit more storage of people, generally speaking. So Sector 1,
An accident
396
has occurred
people.
in the tycoon.
Accident occurred. Stockpile. Anyone die? I saw a comment as well saying someone, like 14 people died in one accident, which I did not see. Which is pretty incredible. It's like a dramatic amount of people dead. Okay, we're ready to go with the tech over here. We are on site. This part of the Edamananki was responsible for the ship's food production. Production was divided into two zones, vegetal and animal. We've also identified a self-controlled area, contained area, generating a heat signature. The area is small, but it's not impossible that some survivors may be sheltering there. Investigate the vegetal zone, the animal pens. Make a cautious approach towards the self-contained area. Invasively breach it, or leave the wreckage of the food production district. I say make a cautious approach. What can you do? Establishing containment and depressurization protocols to avoid risking the lives of possible survivors. That sounds good to me. I don't see what could go wrong with that. Cautious approach, depressurize, safety first. Do it. Alright, our probe is just crossing the 1/3 of the way point, and then we'll send another probe somewhere over there or something. Maybe to a planet as well, because we have to locate a viable planet to generate tech for us in the background anyway. And we have colonists sitting around not doing nothing. Alright, let's speed it up. Is there anything to do inside? There was an event there, sorry. The debris field we've entered is mostly composed of corpses. Yeah, I noticed. The floating bodies bump against the hull and create sounds that reverberate through the Tycoon sectors. This is not providing beneficial crew morale. DLS reports indicate that EVA crews are discussing their experiences working outside the Tycoon with colleagues in mess halls, compounding the problem. So they're chatting in the mess halls about all the bodies that are outside, and it's freaking people out, basically. So what does that do for us? The station is surrounded by corpses. The crew's morale will be affected. Not really sure what that means, though, because it doesn't, like, hinder productivity or anything, does it? Because we're optimal and happy.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Yeah, I don't see anything, but it does have a global little skull icon here that does not look good. But everyone's happy and optimal, so I don't know. What was that message? Science ship Einstein's completed its action. The frozen rooms through which this is the other side of things, the first place, right, have had to navigate are from a nightmare. Projectile damage covers most surfaces, and there are signs of electrical fires having raged throughout the corridors. This is not to discount the ever-present grim sight of severed corpses. Upon entering the bridge, the team discovered the bodies of the commander-in-chief and other officers. It appears they took their own lives. We must retrieve the Remus data. The Tycoon should be kept in close proximity to the command center. This will allow the Einstein's team to use the station's power via the retractable telescopic pole and access the center's terminals. Okay. It's going to take 4 days to do that. Should we come back to this and explore the other ones or something? I guess we'll just, while we're here, keep going. Or do we have the other probe? We do. If there's tech at these other places, I reckon we go to these ones first. 4 days. 4 cycles not that bad, right? Search for any data that may contain the coordinates. Okay, go for it. Go for it. Other accidents happened. It's okay though, I guess. Food is okay. We're still hovering around that 1,000 number.
You can implement a new policy.
New policy can be set in Sector 2. I think we were giving them extra food here before, and they don't need that now. So let's maybe tone that back down. Normal food, please. Yeah, they're still happy. That was just because they had problems before, but they're okay. Getting low on iron if we want to keep the production up and running, though we could always do something else. Still making electronics, no problem, and our waste is currently set to making polymer, which is good, because we're making probes all the time. How's tech going, by the way? How far did we get with the second tech? 74%. We still have some tech science left. That's okay. We're still waiting on population transfer to happen. It's about 2/3 of the way done. Probe is just about to hit.
A probe has completed its scan.
Alright, we've got a mining ship immediately out there, going for the carbon first. The rock, we could send them out as well. Why don't you go and get the iron? Alright. Out you go, guys. And then the cargo ships will make their way out there and retrieve. So what do we got? 800. Wow. 800 iron. And it looks like about 400 in total carbon. That's pretty good. Oh, let's just speed up time. Things are going very good indeed. Oh, so we have the industrial zone wreckage, the collapsed food production district, destroyed command center. Wonder what that's going to be. Oh, we've got another probe anyway, so let's go check now. Bonk. I dare say things are almost going too well. No more homelessness in sector... Oh, that's just because we're moving people, actually, at the moment. Sector 3 has a little bit.
Population transfer complete.
Population transfer complete, so we can see the homelessness fixing itself as they get into their houses. Okay, so Sector 1 should have a lot more people now to work. So you guys are neutral. From the corpses floating outside the station. Oh, so it's... Oh, it affects them as well. Oh, it's affecting everybody. It says it's just going to last 3 days, though. That's not so bad. And they're still neutral.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Alright, the food district, we are what we eat. Upon entering the area, the crew of the Thales were confronted by a UN soldier exhibiting extreme signs of dementia. Yelling the words, "Die, Dolos scum!" They opened fire on our team. The confrontation ended with the depressurization of the area due to projectile fire and the death of both the soldier and 2 of the Thales team. Investigating what they could afterwards, the team had concluded that this was a place of indoctrination for the surrounding production zone workers. Remains of a statue dedicated to the glory of the Enemananki commanders were found, as well as other art pieces aimed at condemning the enemies of humanity, Dolos and the Ashtangites. 2 crew members killed, Alice Monoraru and Ernestina Hagenar or something. Rest in peace. They were the well, I was going to say brought us up to 2,000, but no, they don't. They don't count the numbers if they're in space here, I don't think, do they? Well, we can still proceed, even without them, I guess. Investigate the vegetal zone, or investigate the animal pens. Animal pens? Might be a bit dangerous if they're feral. Ship is missing crew. The side ship must return to the Tycoon to replace missing crew before starting another expedition. That's alright. I think they can still do what they're doing now, though, right? The reactor wreckage. Ooh. And you can go to all these places. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, actually, I just thought about it. If I left this place, couldn't I just get rid of that? The corpse field. Probably. But I guess we don't know where any planets are yet. Actually, we can find one now. So let's check the orbiting lines. We'll just start outside the storm first. Some hydrogen. People have said hydrogen's good for a nuclear power plant, apparently. Got something over there. Let's go. Alright, everyone's optimal and happy, basically. Train more colonists. Why not? How many colonists do we have now? 195? Seems like a lot. Still just a little bit of homelessness, which I guess would be best if we try solve that. Is there any... in sector... any non-workers can really just get out of these places and move to sector 4. So 0 non-workers in sector 2. There's 9 in sector 3, so really they just need houses then. Okay, let's give them some houses. There's a little bit of space here for them. And that'll house everybody, actually.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Alright, good. Science ship team completed a task. We're flying ahead. Which one was that? Oh, here. Alright, Administrator, the Ramus coordinates aren't here. As you know, Vol coordinates are incredibly complex algorithms that require advanced technology for their storage and application. We did identify a storage area within the command center where such equipment, perhaps including that stolen from the Protagoras, should have been held. It's been ripped away, shorn by cutting lasers, and taken. Excuse me, there is some small hope. A single damaged calculator terminal was found. Power supplied from the Tycoon has allowed us to access it. It appears that the Edamananki's final moments, while they attempted to address the colossal damage done to their ship, the crew were able to identify and record a self-similar signature of their attacker as it withdrew. Perhaps they hoped to later mount some sort of pursuit to recover the stolen coordinates of Ramus. We are now in possession of that signature. It belongs to the Perenesi, a ship of the Black Market Society. This is where our hope fades. The few officers' logs we found that detail the attack are terrifying. Seems highly likely that the coordinates of Ramus are now on board the Perenesi. Having processed the data we found within the center, and thanks to the old recordings of now inactive distress signals, we've been able to locate other parts of the Edamananki, which have drifted across the system. So I may be confused. Did the Edamananki get shot up by the Black Market Society? The crew were able to identify and record the signature of their attacker. It seems like it, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I'll just double check. Sometimes I get kind of confused when I'm just reading things out loud and I'm trying to pay attention to recording and keep going, but it sounds like it was the attacker was the Black Market Society, right? It's not just some other ship that got the coordinates. Seems like they were the ones that did it. Because I just assumed it was from the UN, because the guy, from Dolus, really. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll find it as we go. So investigate further the attack. Determine the Edamananki's previous mission. No, investigate further. Let's find out more about the attack. Yeah, as my understanding is now, the Edamananki is a UN ship that was, I believe, pursuing Dolos ships, but was shredded and shot up by the Black Market Society. That's what I'm interpreting it as. Could be wrong, but we'll find out more when we look at further information, I guess. Got another probe here. Let's set... There's actually two orbital lines really close to each other. Let's see if we can just find another one. That's just that one up there, isn't it? I guess? Yep. I'm looking for a planet. If we can get a planet, that'd be nice. Something... There's one right here on this line, it seems. Alright, speeding up time. And with the mining en route now, we now have the Bulwark ship heading out, so who's doing what? You're doing iron collection, you're doing carbon collection. Good. This ship, the Whale, should be moving out as well. It's got low priority, but it still has stuff to get, so... How's tech? Tech is on 0, so it would be nice to just go collect this tech so we can kind of do other things in advance while we're waiting.
The team has completed a task.
Alright, the Thales are now done. Oh! A little doggy. The production area has been gutted for several hundred meters. The huge amount of floating carcasses has made it difficult for the team to differentiate between what is an animal and what is not. The team did find several working cryopods and have prepared these for extraction. Production seems mainly to have been galliform, though there are signs that rarer meats were produced. The Thales team wishes to specifically note that they found a cryopod containing a dog. The owner seems to have decided that the animal's life was more important than their own. Their corpse hangs on to the pod. That's so sad. Yeah, let's get the dog, man. 25 and 204 to pull back. Provide a new home for the dog? Obviously. Obviously. Bypassing security measures, the Thales crew will bring the dog on board the Tycoon. Oh man, what if he's like... got like rabies or something? Probably not though, right? That would be such an easy way to trick a lot of people into just taking a bad choice. Because there's softness to want to take on a dog. But yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. 2 days. I really need to hit that X, actually, and just let them gather the science and then move. Oh yeah, nice. Our 3 ships are out there doing things. Good. Pulling back that carbon. So carbon, sector 2. Is it open? Storage. It is not. Let's open it up. Polymers is open, and then our factory can be opened as well. That will refine the carbon. Waiting on the iron to come back in to power on the furnaces. We'll just leave them on. No big deal. Okay. Keep time sped up, I guess. Everything seems good. We've got another probe. Oh yeah, we did find a planet. Nice. Follow this orbital line, please. There's silicon there. Not that we need it, but why not get some ship making it while we're waiting. Alright, 0.8 cycles, 0.9. So these two are going to finish basically at the same time. Ships are coming back in now. Anything awful happen? Nope. This isn't a viable planet, is it? It is eligible for colonization testing. Data collection will help, so you have to bring a science ship over first.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Alright, I won't read that just yet. We're collecting the science. Let's just do that to boost our tech, finish the next couple technologies, and open up tier 3. Oh, I think tier 3 is now open for us.
Science ship team has completed a task.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're after getting cell housing, which I haven't seen yet. What? Oh, it's a... Oh shit. It's a wall thing. How many people is it? 125 in minimal quality accommodation. Average quality and limited quality. Can we fit this down here? It would fit if I get rid of the road, actually. And then we could maybe replace other housing. I don't want to have too much low quality housing, but 125 seems good because it's only taking up. Well, let's see. Does it tell me? 8 by 2. Yeah, so obviously it's storing a lot, but obviously it is also taking up a part of the wall then. But that's kind of a cool trade-off. Alright, let's just get rid of this bit. We'll stick it in there. I mean, we don't need that bit, I suppose, so screw it. Oh my god, you can see them. Holy crap. Well, it's not funny at all, is it? Those are our brothers and sisters out there, basically. Whatever side you fall on, politically, Dolos or UN, they are our brothers and sisters. Alright, looking good. We're churning that water, we're making lots of food.
An accident has occurred in the Tycoon.
Got a lot of waste building up as well. An accident occurred. Oh, the probe launcher broke, I think. Something I've been meaning to look up. Morale. What does that do? Will we see that anywhere, I wonder? Population management. I'm not too sure what morale means. Because it doesn't seem to be affecting trust. I guess it's just... Oh, I guess it is just this. Yeah, stability, I suppose. Alright. Bit of a lag spike again. I don't know what that's about. Second time that's happened now. Cool music, though. Alright, we're just gathering tech like nobody's business. That's good. And then...
A probe has completed its scan.
I totally forgot, but we need to actually choose a new technology. So we're building cell housing. We now have algae farm, observatory, exo fighting dome, hole temple. Oh. Provides stability whilst the cult of the hole is propagating the sector. In a sector. That's cool. I didn't see which sector they were in, actually. I'll have to look into that in future. A health center. Capacity to heal up to 100 crew members simultaneously. Wow. That's a big jump. Oh, stockpile improvements. Need that. Drone bay. Train station. What? Train speeds up crew transfer. Allows for the expansion of some buildings to influence all sectors. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that'd be so nice if you could just have, yeah, one medical center that people get shipped to. Water treatment. Use 50 waste per cycle to fulfill all water needs in a sector. Wow. And a nuclear power plant. Transforms 1 hydrogen, of which we have 430, into 10 power per cycle. So we have 4,300 power sitting there, basically, at the moment. And then there's 2 hidden techs that we have to get later. Well, what I'm going to go for... Let's just check. EVA airlock. Construction speed is increased by 10%. Repair efficiency is increased by 10%. I don't think we need that. Cargo ship. They move 20% faster. I'm going to go with the storage ones first. So what do we have? Stockpiles can send 1 more transporter. They can store 20% more resources. And store up to 330 if you upgrade them to be medium. Yeah, let's just get all this then. Let's get those 2. Because the whole sector of mine is taken up by stockpiles, so I just want to improve them a bit. Because we're going to be taking on more things. Actually, speaking of, we've got cryopods lying out there. Is anyone set to get them? No. I guess you guys can go bring them in then. So let's have a look into Sector 3. They've been assigned to go out and do it. But we have nowhere to actually store them. So you can be now assigned to cryopods. And the ship will now go out and get them. And then we'll turn on the cryo center and start cracking them open. Haven't actually seen them leave. We should see them though, right? Going out of Sector 3. They are assigned to it. Oh, they're doing it. Yeah, sorry, they're right there. I just didn't realize. When the background was colored red, I just assumed Sector 2, but it does say Sector 3. Anyway, these two are done now. So let's see. I didn't expect this decision. I would remind you that Dolos regulations prohibit animals on board the Tycoon. I do postulate, however, that the animal's presence may be good for crew morale. Yeah, obviously I'm going to bring him on board. Oh, we got an achievement. Man's best friend. Of course. Yes. Hopefully you don't have any negatives with that. Investigate the vegetal zone. Yep. Let's do it. Find some food stored, I guess, maybe. Although we have lots ourselves. I can't even store any more food. Until we get that 20% boost, of course. Another probe. Let's go. Oh my god. There's a huge amount of stuff right here. Can we get all three? Oh, it's like 1 pixel. Yes. Alright. Yeah, tempting to move to the planets, because I reckon then we don't have to worry about that body problem. And the scientists can just stay out here. Like, why do we need to be here? No reason at all, Darren. So let's get going to this place. 2.6 cycles. Yep, let's go. You just hear all the bodies like as we're like flying through. But that's fine. Don't worry about that. But hopefully that'll get rid of that negative to stability. Meanwhile, the scientists can just stay out here doing their thing. Cargo ship will have to go a little bit far to get the cryopods, and obviously this will be a bit far off now, but whatever. We'll come back later.
A probe has completed its scan.
Probe completed its scan. That was over there. Yep, they're free to go get those things if they want, and they should be outlined to get them in the right priority, which they are. I'm happy to see that. So yeah, all good. Just need to actually get drilling it, I guess. So these aren't doing anything. Yeah, I've been a bit inefficient here, obviously, in many ways, I'm sure. But Sector 4, we can assign 2 new mining ships in there. They don't need to be in there. So let's just unassign, and get these 2 mining ships locked in. There we go. And those mining ships are now set to do iron. There's 1,600 iron that they could be mining. Yep, so they're all set pretty well. So they'll all go do their different things. And just chill out there while they're doing that. It's efficiency, that's what it is. It's just pure efficiency. Alright, as the Edamananki paused in the Kruk system, it was surprised and attacked by the Piranesi. Okay, so I was correct. Reports indicate colossal casualties. The UN crew was able to find a flaw in the Piranesi's defense systems and managed to mount a boarding assault. The Piranesi's responded by firing its main weapon before fleeing the system. The last survivors of the attack, who could not enter cryonic pods, either died from the cold or slowly asphyxiated in the days that followed. Some dark shit. Okay, you got me there. We need to be in range to go further with that, but that's fine. We'll just move our crew to the reactor wreckage. Ah. Okay, so we can't. So that's good. What if I unassign them? Will that bug this game out or something? Or can I free them from this event for a moment? Let's try. So it's the Einstein. We'll say,
Administrator,
off you go.
A new request awaits your attention.
It is still there. Let me try reassign it and see what happens. Okay. No. Alright, well I guess I've made a bit of a mistake. I thought I could get out of here without having to do it, just because I guess the other ones we don't have to be there. But I could just go back. Once our batteries recharge, we'll just go back. I just thought it'd be a good idea to get out of the area when that negative event was happening, you know? Alright, here we are at Kruk P38. Technology, vertical parking has been unlocked. Excellent. So just to refresh our memories on what that is, vertical parking is one more transporter. So that's going to help with logistics, moving things between places with food and stuff. So that's good. The next one we're going for immediately is the structural reconfiguration. 20% more resources. Then I'm going to go with stockpile medium. Alright, let's just speed up time. This one's almost done as well. Alright, so we investigated the vegetative sector, whatever, the vegetable sector. Finally reached the vegetable production area. They were greeted by floating corpses of UN soldiers and crew. A few district workers seem to have reached emergency cryopods before depressurization. Alright, I've got another 235 ready for extraction, actually. Hydroponic technology was used aboard the Edamananke to grow fruits and vegetables in large vertical aisles. Recovered yield reports detail how hierarchical rationing reserved the rarest of foods for higher-ranking crew members. Although the remaining food production facilities are unusable, a few intact storage containers were found by the team. Retrieved resources have been prepared for extraction. Okay, so 261 food for free, 235 extra people, and 15 tech. Leave the wreckage of the production district. Good job. I mean, 2 people did die, but other than that, good job. It's not their fault, you know, someone mental just fired on them. And then we can get out of there. So they've got another area to go and collect people, and they can actually collect that food because it's going into the same district. So go get both. Get this on, I'd say actually get the people first, and... Oh, we'll rotate. Actually, one of you do, yeah. Okay, there we go. So one's prioritizing people, one's prioritizing the food, but they'll get a bit of both if they run out of one or the other. Nice. Alright, probe me up. Let's see what we got. We've got some stuff still around here, so we might as well activate it and collect it before we go into deep space. Oh, we got some ice, some of my favorite resource in the game. And you're done now, right, Thales? You're done. So you might as well come down here. Yeah, actually go back to the Tycoon, because you need to stock up 3 more people. Or 2 more people. So, a signal originating from a chain of mountains that border on acidic ocean.
Completed its scan.
And the other one is for colonization. Okay. We'll make our way up to that in a moment. We'll get this guy back on board the Tycoon, then we'll get moving ourselves back over to the destroyed command center. Again, it doesn't really cost us anything. Maybe a little bit of hull integrity, I suppose, but other than that, it's basically fine. I'll have to look around in between episodes to see what we can grab. There's ice and carbon right there. Technology unlocked. 20% more we can store now in this bad boy. So, if that's the case, yes it is. Let's power some of these on. And let them just kind of get filled up. Don't know why they're still red. They shouldn't be red anymore, because there is room to store more. And what we could do even is say, just unassign one of these, and they'll just flow into those ones, won't it? Make use of our space a little bit better. And we've now extra transporters, so this should all happen faster. Wow, they took everything out of here. That was super fast. Nice. Yeah, 120. Everything can take 120 now. Alright, are we good to go back? I'll just wait for some of these guys to get into us here, and then we'll move.
Administrator, you can implement a new policy.
So sending the Thales out, they can just sit here and gather the tech.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Alright, back we go. Back we go. Let's just pass by the collapsed food production. I just want to see it. Alright, good. Good stuff. Things are looking good. 120 cryopods in storage. Blown through tech pretty quickly. We're gathering more all the time. What's the deal? Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to turn this on. Sector 3 has contained potential new crew members in cryopods for a while now. Yep, I'll do it. Turn on every cryonic center in Sector 3 for 30 cycles. Bonk. Okay, so population limit is 1,000 in here. We'll just send everyone into Sector 4, and that way we can manage them and reroute them elsewhere later on. So, yeah, 30 cycles. So we just have to keep it on, basically. Doesn't even need to have people going through it, but it's... Whoops. Oh! Inconsistencies were detected within a crew member's DLS records. After reviewing the data, I found that the crew member is actually a dog. A Borzi, to be exact. I've not discovered how it came to be on board. Its mere presence violates several health protocols. I will say that it does seem to be proving extremely beneficial for morale. The dog is a member of the crew or respects sanitary protocols. No, he's a crew member, like any of us. Hell yeah. Now, if he goes mental and starts killing people, I'll be really disappointed. Oh, cool. Our cell housing has been built.
An accident has occurred.
Oh, yeah. I had seen this in screenshots. I'd seen that before. I never knew what that was. I thought it was like solar panels or something. Not facing inside, but just like you could build them, I don't know, at the back of the, like out here or something. There you go. We have 26 out of 125. So all those new people are going to go into there. Yeah, we've got room for more. Maybe we could stick a couple on that end. This is 6 and 12, and that's 8. We could put one in, but I wouldn't really be able to fit two unless I removed storage bays or something. But we might do that, maybe. Could fit another one down here, would be more optimal as well. So I guess I could do that. There's space to be had in here. So I might shift these around a bit. In fact, we can do it now while there's actually time to do it. Move them forward and get rid of the road, and that would actually give us enough space. Alright, so just 21 homeless by removing those 3. And just temporarily, we'll assign this to be alloys. So just store it up in here, guys, and you'll be fine. So,
a probe has
full.
completed its scan.
These are all full. Great, 120. So these are 110, so let's open them up. And how are we for workers and everything? Can we just turn all of these on? And then we'll just choose a few to unassign. Let it get figured out. Alright, so that should just get distributed everywhere and be sorted in no time. We are currently moving. There is overwork. Guess that's a little concern. Because there's barely any workers in here, so I guess, I don't know. Do I really need to remove stuff, guys? Can you just handle it for a bit? Just handle it for a bit until you get full. You're full now. So anytime that happens, we'll just click these buttons and get them back in. Alright, so the Thales has retrieved all science from here. So let's go investigate. This is the Thales crew. We're currently in orbit of P38. The planet possesses a highly corrosive atmosphere. There'll be little room for improvisation once we touch down. We must establish a search protocol now. We do know that the signal is transmitting from beneath a mountain. Alternatively, we could focus on analyzing material samples in order to improve our understanding of planets like this one. Bore through the mountain, perform topographical analysis, ignore the signal and focus on sample collection, or leave. Corroded hopes. Just really quickly, in the tech screen, is there anything else we could be getting for science ships to help them out with this type of thing? They can move faster, but then what do we need? You need EKP optimization to get that. Science generated during exploration is increased by 5%. The docking bay upgrade is required to get that first. Okay, I'll look at that in a second. The advanced analytics upgrade is required. Science generated is increased 10%, and then it's okay. Oh, so these 3 are just together and those 3 together. Okay, fine. Yeah, I mean, I guess getting free science would be kind of nice. moving faster isn't really something I've ever felt I need the science ships to do. So what's the docking bay upgrade? Let me just check again. Which one was it that they wanted? Designed instruction. This one. Spaceship construction speed is increased by 10%. Tech lab. Increases the production rate of science to 5 units every 5 cycles. Yep, definitely do that next. And research speed is increased by 20%. That's fine. Leave that for now. Alright, people are still in overwork actually here for a bit. Just emptying out these two again.
Entering debris field.
Alright, we're back in the body's debris field. We're about to be any second now. So I just wanted to visit this one, even though it's basically going to be the same, but it's slightly different. And then we're just going to get moving to the other one in a minute anyway. Looks cool though. I always like seeing all the different areas and environments. The bodies though, man, there's so many. Like I'm barely moving. There we go. And just flashes of bodies constantly on screen. Holy crap. Oh jeez. That's like tens of thousands, isn't it? God. Alright. Well, not much else to really take from it other than we can let the cryopods load up a bit, and then we're just going to move back over to the destroyed command center in just a moment. Meanwhile, the mining ships are doing their thing. All good? Yeah, looking good. It's kind of time to open up yet another sector, I feel like, but that'll hurt the hull integrity even more. Actually, we've moved so many extra people now to this sector, we can power this back on. And now we're healing 71, so that's great. How are we doing for accidents? That's okay. We're out of iron. Food storage and everything can be... a lot more can be stored in here now. Actually, turn that one off. Okay. Alright, and what about down here? So there's still some ice in these ones, so I guess... I don't know. Maybe just turn this one off then and let it fill up. It hasn't filled into this one for some reason, or this one.
Warning. A sector is being overworked.
They'll be fine. They can handle it. Just get the job done quickly and we'll power these things off. New people are coming in here all the time as well. Don't worry about it. What did we just unlock, by the way? Maintenance? Oh, nice. We have our medium stockpile now. Oh, it's damn. So... it's actually a bigger building. Right. Now, how big? So this is 4x4, this is 8x4. So it's just the equivalent of 2, but it can hold more than double. So instead of 120, it's 360. Okay, let's just build one here and we'll move stuff into that. What's the worker situation on it? 8? Oh, it's less workers, so it's more optimal that way. It's only 1 extra power, so save power as well. Excellent. Does take 1 electronics to get it done, though. Alright then, actually, this is going to be so awkward to do this, but in order to upgrade these two, we have to empty them, right? So, unassign that one. Reassign these two down here. Because these are... oh, that's also next to the wall. Sorry, I'm just trying to think that we might need housing. I can't build housing next to the sector sign, actually, so that's okay. Right, so we just told them to empty this one out. They're going to flood all of these and store them up. As soon as they fill, I'll lock them down. And then we'll start doing the upgrades slowly but surely. So I'll just come back in just a minute, and we can pretty much get moving now back over to the main sector.
A probe has completed its scan.
Alright. Back we go. So that mistakes were made. Shouldn't have left the area. Couldn't use the scientist. So we were offline with the scientist for a while. Other than that, though... yeah, seeing as there's nothing else to get for this guy, I guess we'll just have to figure it out. So perform a topographical analysis. That sounds safest to me. Now we'll send another probe out. We're going to have to start going into the storm soon, I think. looking good. The event seems to be doing okay.
Entering debris field.
Yeah, I guess we're leaving bodies and then entering it back into them like really quickly. So how are we doing? Alright, you guys have all filled up to the 120 mark. Perfect. So you're all offline now. We're back to optimal conditions. No accidents were had. The risk was worth it. So, apart from that, we wanted to empty out this one completely. And that's fine. These are assigned to ice and ice. So yeah, you can just turn that back on and we'll just hopefully load those up. And now I can build again. So I can actually turn these back on. Even though it's going to hurt a little bit. Build housing just here. Alright, so 2 new houses have been built. These are going to be emptied out now nicely. They're just storing the remains of what we'd removed. I guess because we're pulling in ice, this place is just filled up again, but the ice is now all at 120, so we're at 3,500 basically for ice now. Which is fine, I just want to do an upgrade, but is this empty now? Yes, so I can actually delete it. Good. And then that one needs to be deleted at some point, so we're just going to have to wait until it empties, and then I can actually do these upgrades.
A probe has completed its scan.
Or I guess just build other ones over here to hold ice temporarily. Damn, the frame rate. Alright, we are back in position. Our batteries are healing. We can now do the event. So determine the Enamananki's previous mission objective is going to take 3 days. Another probe is ready to go. Let's launch. Anything close to the star? There's hydrogen over there. Don't really need that. Big load of iron here. Yeah, I can see the way they've done this. So they want you to stay out in these, like, hazard zones, basically, so that you can get everything around here. Otherwise, or you could play it safe and go a bit further out. I don't know. I might do. Alright, things are looking good, though, other than the extra hours of my mismanagement of things in here. But generally speaking, good. Anything that's 120 can be just locked down now. So, turn that on, empty it out. There's 2 down here that can take lots of ice.
A probe has completed its scan.
The stockpile failed to transfer a resource to another sector. Yeah, so what's going on with that? Should be maxed out in this sector, and in sector 3, max it out in that sector as well. So we'll say lower it to 3,000 here, and that way they'll just ship it across if they need to. And then I guess these ones can be set to ice. Just fill everything up, guys, and that way we can clear these 2 and start upgrading them. Just do that one. Look at the big train of ice just be moved around now. Alright, but it's working. It's working. I've got a handle on it now. So this can be deleted. We can now build a 2 slot in that space. We're going to be storing up more, and we'll just start slowly moving things over Tetris style, shifting it into the bigger ones. And that should work out fine. We've got electronics in the sector. It should get built in no time at all. So let's rotate. There we go. So with the extra housing built, and we've shifted that over now, we can get rid of this road. And we can get rid of these houses. Oh, they don't have access to a road anymore, damn. Alright, how we doing? The Thales crew. The signal was transmitting from an abandoned subterranean complex. By breaching it, we've unfortunately allowed the corrosive atmosphere of P-38 in... Oh, no. We'd estimate that the complex was built within the last 20 years. We don't reckon... Didn't I say just to do an analysis? A topographical analysis? Yeah, I didn't tell you to breach it. Okay, well, whatever. We don't recognize the iconography on its exterior. The technology inside does seem human-made, and there are signs that it was once inhabited. This is a little time before P-38's corrosive atmosphere eats at the... sorry, there's still a little time before they do that. We don't think we'll be able to explore the entire site, but we've identified several places of interest. So the Thales hull and landing gear is damaged, or could be damaged if we stay too long, I guess. So we have to make a choice of which place we want to go to. The tank room Numerous empty tanks. They collect residue samples and carry out analysis to see what they were used for. The command center. Go command center first. Surely you'll learn most about everything if you go there. Alright. We are just about finished here. So, another 50 tech for extraction. By powering the command center, the Einstein's team was able to extract and analyze core mission data. The Edamananki was a UN ship, initially launched to find other exoplanets. Early data logs from their voyage indicate a glaring lack of preparation to accomplish such a task. In the absence of a habitable exoplanet, they seem to have concentrated on the search for what the UN had designated as enemies of humanity, Dolos and the Ashtongites. By boarding the Protagoras, the Edamananki was able to locate Ramus. Okay. So they met their fate. And they're the ones that messed up the Protagoras, right? So then they jumped in here, and then the Black Market Society kind of screwed them up. Let's get that 50 tech, and then we're free to kind of move around and get this other tech that's lying around for us. So it's a lot of tech coming in. We've got a call.
Administrator, we have found the Piranesi signature stored in the Edamananki's destroyed command center.
Okay.
It is a ship unlike any other in our records. A formidable opponent, now in possession of the Remus coordinates. The eventual failure of the Tycoon's hull is inevitable. We have no other choice but to confront the Piranesi. Before we leave the system, we must find a way to develop an effective countermeasure strategy.
Okay. The objective, the Ark of Humanity. Locate a viable planet.
An accident.
Awaken 2,000 cryonic pods. Oh my god. 1 out of 2,000. Oh my god. I didn't think it got much more than like 2, maybe 3,000. Wow. Okay. Locate a viable planet, awaken the pods, and then find a countermeasure for its attacks. Build enough batteries so that at least 4 sectors will have backup power for 5 cycles. Ooh. Oh, interesting. Okay. We can invest in our battery power as well. Our best one is actually 3.5 in Sector 2. Alright, what's left? I mean, really, I just need to look through the tech tree now. I'll do this after the episode and kind of choose what we're going to queue up, but we're building up tech nicely. And now we can finally store ice in massive vats. And hopefully just empty it out of places that we don't need it anymore, so like here and here. So ideally, that'll just all get stored in there, or anywhere else.
A probe has completed its scan.
Sector 1. Lots of accidents, apparently. Oh, in the infirmary itself, that was the problem. I see. In Sector 4, we can build yet another big housing block in against the wall. So if that was there, and that was there, so really we want to go here. Just in case we ever do that. Alright. And then we can fit in a few extra houses to make up for the ones we lost. But I'm guessing if you've got too many in not so nice residences like that, it could be a problem. Yeah, refinement, you know, improving the storage sector feels good. Doesn't feel so good having such massive lag though all the time in this one. Maybe I just need to restart the game or something. I feel like if you do multiple loads, that's what happens. Alright, good. These are empty. That was really quick. So these could be just removed now. Now we build another one in its place. So interestingly, like the 20% improvement is an improvement for the medium stockpiles as well. It says all stockpiles get the percentage increase, so that's good. By the way, are we done here now? We are. So we can actually leave this place now. So what we could do is get over to the industrial zone, figure out what's going there and the reactor, and then hopefully if we just gather as much of that tech as possible, then I'm just going to chill at Crook P42 or either at Crook P38, even though it's not necessarily close to these ones. And I'll probably put the lockdown on some of these resources so we can just gather what's immediately around us first and then get moving as we've been doing in the past. Also going to look and focusing on the techs that will... Oh my god! I had no idea. So we found the other... Well, what is this though? This is also the Edamananki? Holy crap. It was blown to such a degree that it's like, I guess maybe orbiting the star. Could that be why it's all the way around here? It's roughly along the same orbiting line, actually. Roughly. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I had no idea. I just assumed that was a different ship or something. Okay, that's interesting. 31, 21, 19, 28. And then we gotta find the other ships. This is awesome. There's so much cool stuff happening. Alright, that's gonna have to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support the channel directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. You'll also get exclusive access to my Discord, where there's dedicated channels for each series I'm doing, and it's a great place just to meet others and make some friends.